There's an indie game called Fortune's Run. Have you heard of this game before, Arch?
Can't say I have.
Okay. This is a game that was set to come out. It says release date September 27th, 2023. Okay. It's also in early access here. So they went into early access, been going for a while. Play the trailer here for you as we talk about this. You can see kind of this game. It has a first person element to it. And apparently this is made by a single guy, right? Pretty cool to see single games made by a single person. But here's the problem with games that are made by solo devs is that when you're a solo dev and you can't make the game anymore, the game stops. Thus is the case with the developer of Fortune's Run, as he has been sent to jail for 3 years. He posted this update. He says, "Hi, everyone. I'm Dizzy. As of recently, the sole developer of this game. First of all, I have some stuff going on I need to make public as it's going to interrupt development. I've been sentenced to prison for the next 3 years. It's a long story, but I've lived a very different life before I was a game developer, and I wasn't living very well. My case is about 5 years old now. I've been going through the legal process the whole time I've been working on this. I have finally been found guilty and sentenced, and I'm going away next month. It's a shame, and it's the consequences of my action. I was a very violent person and I hurt a lot of people in my life. Unfortunately, the sentence isn't going to help with that at all, but I guess we all know that. So the game isn't totally dead, but unfortunately, due to even further bad things happening, it's unclear what will happen. The other developer has left the project. Once she recovered, she decided that she was no longer interested in game development. So she was in charge of QA in a few level segments, all of which has been abandoned, and I've been forced to get by on my own for the past while. It's been very difficult to do alone, and I actually managed, but basically not sleeping to complete all the work in time so it could be released before I'm sent away. So he has a month-long window to get this thing done. Now, what's interesting here is that we don't know what he did, but 5 years is quite a punishment for something, and it sounds like it's
3 years.
Crime. Oh, 3 years. Yes, I'm sorry, 3 years.
Yeah, but it's been working its way through its system for 5. I love the whole idea of you have the right to a quick and speedy punishment and trial. 5 years later.
I don't want to speculate, but let's go ahead and speculate. This guy got 5 years. Blabs, if you can just do a little searching to see what.
Yeah, I've been trying to find what he did because I'm curious. I'm like, what did you do, bro?
Maybe violent crimes that get a 3-year sentence, perhaps. Some sort of assault. But this guy down here is suggesting, it says, sounds like the developer was a summer of love person. I don't know if that's the case.
Oh my God, you're right. Wow, it's been 5 years. We're so old.
Oh, yeah, possibly. But it'd be, So
Dude,
what do you do with
nothing.
Right. I mean, he just goes by Dizzy. That's
exactly. How are we supposed to find his real name?
Right.
If anyone's being arrested or sent to prison for the next 3 years, can you please tell us what crime you committed and if you are Dizzy? Thank you.
You know, I know he was very vague in his statement here, and probably rightfully so, simply because I know people would dig into it immediately and want to know all the information about it. But I feel like we probably should in a situation like this, because there have been a lot of people who invested a lot of money into this game. And will people get pissed at him if he isn't able to deliver the full product by the time it's done? Because he knew this was coming. He launched it in early access. Why do you launch a game in early access? To make money, right? Make money and get feedback to develop it. Earn money from essentially to develop the game. I don't know. part of me is like, when you really take a step back, you think about the motives of going into early access. You develop a game, you know you're going to go to jail. Did he really have any intentions of finishing it? I don't know.
Like, the entire thing about early access is, it has done us some good as well, but it's the original idea of early access has been completely perverted, because the point was you offer the game at a lower price to get people to help you basically bug test, to aid in development. And they would be understood that you weren't necessarily going to finish it. It was always a bit of a risk, but that was fine so long as it was people who actually genuinely needed it. Like, okay, I can't make the game unless I get a little bit of money. I need some help beta testing. Okay. But now everything is early access. Every fucking game is early access. AAA companies are releasing early access games. Like, it's been completely ruined from what it was originally intended to be.
As you saw right there, Edwin says, I asked Rock what violent crimes cost 3 years in prison. Kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, robbery, aggravated battery, and drug trafficking with violence. Yikes.
Drug trafficking with violence. I like that.
I don't want to be too critical of Dizzy because I don't want to show up at her, at my house to beat the hell out of me. I fear you, Dizzy. With that said, don't drop the soap, dog. Just saying. What, Blabs?
Nothing. Yikes.
Yikes indeed. Will Dizzy, developer of Fortune's Run, be the bitch?
Depends on what he did.
That's true.
Depends on what he did.
That's true.
Maybe he'll run the place.
Maybe Dizzy walks in. He's like, I'm a fucking indie game down.
This is my house now. Get the fuck out, Siobhan. Whatever people's names are.
Siobhan.